Hey, Michelle,
Hi, Mark.
how you doing?
Doing great.
Hey, it's November. We need to take a look at October in Santa Cruz County. How'd that market do?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take a look at prices. We sometimes see this fall bounce back, maybe not so much in Santa Cruz, but we'll also talk about sales, the number of closed sales and sort of that sales cycle. And then we'll talk about competitiveness. So the different cities where we saw some sale to list price ratio increases and buyers paying over ask. So we'll jump in now with the median price. And so definitely not the fall bounce back. I mean, it's predominantly on the other side of the hill, right? The Santa Clara, San Mateo counties. We usually see October be pretty high, but in general, we don't necessarily see that in Santa Cruz County, although the last few Octobers have been really high. And even with a almost 6%, 5.9% decrease month over month in that median price at the county level, we still see it being pretty substantially higher. So last month was about 5.3% as well. So we're looking at over 10% or 11% really decrease over the last couple of months in that median price, but still look at that appreciation over the past years and compared to other Octobers, certainly we're seeing some of that. So, I mean, it was just mixed. I mean, this is all, single family home market. So these were all cities comparing October to September. And looking at this slide, it's kind of busy, but at least you get to see everything at once. I mean, where things were good, they were really good. I mean, Capitola, that's not an all-time high price. I mean, remember the median price was 2.1 million in July, but I mean, that's a pretty substantial increase. Same with SoCal, up over September, but July was almost 2.2 million. Los Gatos, the mountains have been volatile. Boulder Creek has been volatile on a lot of sales too in Boulder Creek. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And then Santa Cruz, so back up after 4 straight months of decline, right? So, kind of depends on where you were. We saw some price appreciation. We saw some definite depreciation for sure, but that's a pretty short-term look. I mean, in common interest, you see a little bit of a different story, right? So less than a percent decrease, of barely, it's about 0.14%. And so you see that decreasing, but you also see the volatility, right, in the common interest market in Santa Cruz County. And so you're seeing not as much of the price appreciation just in general as we saw in the single family markets, but it was still, higher, where October, several cities were higher median prices in October than September. I think Santa Cruz might be an all-time high price, a huge jump. I mean, at least since 2018, that's a big number there. Aptos have been volatile over the past several months. Boulder Creek and Scotts Valley as well. Capitola also, the common interest market has just been kind of up and down there in general. And so, depends, right? Really mixed. I mean, what we did expect was to see closed sales decline. It's that time of year. This is not unusual at all. That's a 12.8% decrease, almost 13%. It's even down a year over year, which is an interesting one because last year, we had a lot of sales, but down a little bit in both, month over month and year over year. The interesting part though is, again, that's why we do these, is to look at the city level and say, hey, there were actually quite a few cities, three, I don't know, quite a few, but, holding steady and or increasing. I would be surprised with this. We saw a lot in Santa Clara County and also San Mateo counties. And, we're just, seeing sellers still heading out there, getting in the market because the prices are still relatively high, and we'll look at sale to list here in a second. But anyway, Ben Lomond, that's been pretty low for the past couple of months. We saw much higher closed sales in the spring. Felton's up, consistent for the past few months. Boulder Creek, a couple of pretty big months, right? So much higher than the past 3 Octobers. Like, what happens in Boulder Creek in October? Well, it's a big month. Santa Cruz, 2 months of declining closed sales. SoCal down big, but 12 was last month. 12 was the highest single month of sales since 2018, and actually October of 2018. So this is kind of hard to sustain for some of these cities. You can't have the entirety of Boulder Creek turn over in 1 month. In terms of in terms of common interest, 43 closed sales, down from 61 in the common interest market in October. This is really interesting. Although Capitola hadn't seen a month with more sales since there were 12 in July of 2019, right? So Capitola, that was a big month. Santa Cruz is down big, but 29 sales last month. That was by far the most sales, like by 8 or 9 sales since at least 2018. So it'd be difficult to best that number. And then in Aptos, I looked at it, 7 to 10 usually is what you see 7 to 10 sales. So 5 in October was actually pretty low, last month pretty high. I mean, it's just one of those things. Keep an eye on it. This is the Aculist Weekly. We provide it, well, it's always available, but it's new every Tuesday morning. And this shows you by week. So this is week ending 10/30, but you can see here, I mean, we're kind of on track really. Last year had a lot of close sales in 2020 at the end of the year. So it'd be hard to keep up with that, but besting 2019. So hanging right in there, right? So this is really just usual. This is what you tell your clients. This is what we would expect to see. This is not unusual. And there's the data to prove it. Now, in terms of competitiveness, right? Holding steady, Santa Cruz County, 104%, 3 months for the county at 104%. So maybe we found that sweet spot. But definitely 104% or over, right, since March. So pretty significant there. The cities where we saw sale to list price ratio, I mean, look at some of those numbers. So La Selva Beach had 1 sale and Corlitos had 2 sales. So, we can calm down there. But Aptos at 106, a lot higher than we've seen over the past couple Octobers. Aptos has been over 100% since September of 2020, right? So over a year now. Ben Lomond up after 3 straight months of declining sale to list price ratios, so a little bit of a bounce there. Santa Cruz, the city, up 1% after 4 straight months of declining sale to list price. Coming back on both sale and sale price, median sale price and sale to list. And then Scotts Valley hit 100% in April and has been consistently declining ever since. There was a spring plateau from May to July of 105, but I mean, we just a lot higher than we're used to seeing for sure. And then there were quite a few cities that decreased in terms of sale to list price ratio from September to October. Mount Hermon had 1 sale, so hang on there. Capitola's down, but from 115%. It's happened 3 different months this year, April, June, and September. So of course then, the next month or in subsequent months, you see a little bit of a correction. Felton has been really volatile, but up over 103% for the past 8 months in Felton. Same thing, Boulder Creek down a bit, but has been at 103% or higher for the past 6 months. So some of this, you look at this, you think red, you think bad, and then you look at the relativity of it and say, no, 6, 7 months, 8 months, at 103 for those, mountain communities is really, really different, right? Not what we're used to seeing. And then last slide here. Common interest market sale to list price ratio, the county was at 104% in October. There's not always common interest sales in Boulder Creek, 1 sale there. Remember, keep in mind that Santa Cruz increased after 4 straight months of declining sale to list price. So Santa Cruz bouncing back in both the common interest and single family markets in October. Capitola is down from, I think that might have been an all-time high though in September. So, I mean, consider Capitola has been over 100% for the entire year. So people paying at, ask, or over. And then Aptos at 104% is still very strong. It's had a kind of a really good run for the past 3 months. So your buyers may be getting a little bit of a break. Sellers, still feeling good about where they are in Santa Cruz County. So, maybe you got, get your buyers out there with a little bit of a break in that median price. We will, it's one of those things you have to keep your eye on it. This late in the year, you just really never know in Santa Cruz there. So anyway. That's what I have, Mark.
Wow. Hey, the data is always very valuable to our subscribers every single month that you help us out with this, but your analysis and your commentary, that's the frosting on that cake. Just saying it. Hey,
I appreciate that.
Office hours. Come and ask us the questions. Come and, let us know what you're concerned with. Let's talk statistic. Let's talk, listing management, matrix, whatever. New office hours coming up next week. It's going to be Thursday, November 18th at 1 p.m. Go to the Pro homepage, hit that banner. That'll launch you into it. But we are going to do a little bit of focus on an event we did last week.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I hope to sneak in, because there's not always stats questions, we get a lot of compliance, a lot of matrix, a lot of listing management, but I do want to talk about that MLS Listings Live we had with our partner economist, Dr. Elliot Eisenberg. It was really great. He answered questions. He talked about 2021, but more importantly, he talked about 2022 and some of his thoughts on interest rates and, the global supply chain shortage and all sorts of different things. So I'm going to hopefully get a chance to recap that. I mean, we answer questions and And for those of you who are interested in watching Dr. Elliot Eisenberg, you missed it. It's on YouTube. So you go to YouTube and you go MLS listings in the video section. For those of you who miss office hours, we do not record it, right? So it's very casual. Come on in, ask questions. There's no recording. There's no, it's just, like I said, casual. So you can catch one, Dr. Elliot Eisenberg, but you can't catch the office hours. So hopefully we'll see you at both, and we'll we'll talk about Dr. Elliot Eisenberg at the office hours.
Perfect. Perfect. Hey, thanks for being with us once again. Always enjoy it. Have a good day out there, friends.
Make sure to check out our Pro Support page for additional videos on a full range of topics. And don't forget to click that subscribe button on our MLS Listings YouTube page.